Hi guys, Frenchie here. So today I thought I'd do a video on how to install and use the JonesSoft generic mod enabler, JSGME for short. That's pretty much what it's referred to all over the internet. It's a really great tool, very powerful, but also being very small, very light, but very easy to use. You can see here I've already got it open. It's pretty easy to use. Currently down the left hand side here you can see all the mods I have, and then on the right side of the list of the mods that I currently have activated at the moment, just my NVG mod. To apply a mod, just quickly as a preview, is as simple as clicking on it, clicking on this arrow here at the top. If you have some files that are going to get overwritten for some mods that you've already got applied, you just click yes. That overrides it. To unapply a mod, and this is partially why I love this so much, is a matter of just clicking either you can unactivate or deactivate mods singularly or all of them at once like this. And the reason I find that so useful is because when you go to update DCS and if you have mods installed, sometimes your files will get overwritten, but using JSGME all your mods are stored in a separate location. You can unapply them, update DCS, you'll keep your DCS installed perfect, then you can reapply your mods and you won't have to worry about breaking anything. So what I'll do is I'll completely wipe my whole system of JSGME and then I'll show you from a clean slate how to install it, how to add mods to it, and how to activate the mods. So see you shortly. Okay, so to get JSGME you have to go through a couple steps. Of course you have to go get the files themselves, you have to install it, we have to create a shortcut and direct it to look at the game, we have to then set up the install for the specific game, we then have to add mods to the mod enabler, activate the mods, and then we'll win, we'll have it working. So first, getting it, and I'll include all the links in the description below the video file. There's two main locations to get it from. One is ZIPPYSHARE, the other one is GAMEFRONT. Google Chrome doesn't seem to like GAMEFRONT sometimes. It thinks it has some dodgy files able to download. I'm sure there are because it's a public upload location, but the JSGME download from GAMEFRONT is completely secured. I've used it for probably a year and a half now, and thousands of other people from DCS do as well, and it works perfectly fine. If you are cautious though and you really don't want to go there, you're more than well use ZIPPYSHARE. So just hit download now, download your computer. I've already done that and moved it onto my desktop. So here it is here. It is a 7-zip file, so you'll either need 7-zip or WinRAR to extract it. I've got WinRAR, so I'll just right click and then extract here. Now if I just find it, it's probably stuck it on my, oh no, it's right there. Excellent. So that's the program. Unlike a lot of games and other programs, you don't have to install it. That's already the installed files right there, and you can then put them wherever you want and run this exe. That's the enabler right there. A lot of people online say to put it in your games folder and run it directly from in there. I don't like that idea because you're more likely to corrupt it. It might affect your install wrong. If you're doing updates, it might get deleted. So I think that's a silly idea. I'd recommend putting it within your actual program files folder. That way you know it's the specific program and you're not going to go deleting it by accident thinking it's just your download file or when you're doing a cleanup. So for me, my program files are on my E drive. So here it is here. So program files, you can stick it in x86, it doesn't matter, or the stand one. I just keep them all in here. And so I've just copied and pasted it, and there it is right there. So that is steps 1 and 2 done already. Get JSGME and then install it. Do to step 3 to create a shortcut. The way JSGME works is by using a trick within Windows shortcuts where you specify a target, which is the program, but then you start it in a different foldable location, and that's how you can have only the one install of JSGME and have it work on multiple games by having multiple shortcuts all pointing at different games. So to create the shortcut is pretty simple. Go into where you've installed it, click on JSGME, click and drag it across, and then press and hold Alt, and now you're creating a link on your desktop, and release. So pretty simple. We now just have to edit the shortcut to direct it at the game. So for me, I'm going to use the shortcut for DCS 2.0, the alpha that's currently out. So I'm going to rename it straight away, just because I'm a bit anal like that. So DCS 2.0. So I know what I'm going to get the game pointed. I know what the mod is going to be pointing at. So click off, and I've renamed it. Now right click on it and go to properties. Now the way we did that drag and drop with the shortcut, that creates the perfect target already, and then all we have to do now is set the start in, which needs to be your game install file. For us it's DCS, whichever version you're using. So my DCS is installed on my F drive, which is a solid state hard drive, open alpha. So what you'd have to do is type it in here. There's a shortcut to this. Click this little folder icon up here once, hit Control C. Now come down in here, and you want to delete everything between the two quotation marks, and then paste in the new directory. Hit apply and hit OK. Now we've created the shortcut and we've directed the game, so that's step 3 done. We can jump out of here, drag this over here. Now all you have to do is double click on here. Before I do that though, I'm going to explain how this mod enabler works. What it does is it sets a folder in the game location where you store all your mods, and then when you enable them, like I showed at the start of the video, it copies them across and overpastes them over the game, and that enables them. When you unenable the mods, it takes them back off the game and puts back the original files if you've overwritten any files enabling the mod. Now the enabler normally puts all the mods in a folder called mods, but DCS already has a mods folder, and that is critical to the game, so we don't want that to happen. But the enabler will recognize that and will tell us we should use a different name. So double click on your shortcut, okay, and so this screen will pop up, and this is saying exactly what I just said. So JSGME looks for mods stored in a folder called mods. However, this may conflict because the game already has one. We recommend something other than that. So really simple, and it puts it near the top of the file structure. I use _mods. That's what a lot of the online written guides say. So yeah, I just stick with it. Some people like DCS pers mods or whatever they want, but for me, I'm going to stick with _mods. That's what other people use, and that's what I use. And just hit OK, and boom, we now have the generic mod enabler open and running, and it's installed and working with DCS. So I'll show you quickly what it does by doing that link and what it said. So in the install file for folder for DCS, so mine's the 2.0 alpha, we have what's been created now is this JSGME ini, which just stores the settings saying, yes, this is the game location. We have all our mods stored in a folder called _mods or whatever you chose, and it also creates the _mods folder. Jump in here and you'll see if you're able to see hidden files and folders, you'll have a backup and your logs for the game for troubleshooting. So jump out of there, and the very first thing that you need to do, don't go sticking mods in there. You have to go in tasks and then generate a snapshot of game files. What this does is it goes through and makes a list of every single file and folder that's in the game location. So what this means is when you then go and apply a mod, and it goes, oh, there's already a file in that exact location already by that name, it'll make a backup of it, so that when you go and deactivate the mod, I should say, it'll go, right, I need to put that file back. If you don't do this snapshot of game files and you then deactivate a mod, it's not going to replace the original file, and then if you go and try and run the game or do an update it's going to crash probably, or there's going to be errors, or you're going to corrupt your install, and then you have to go through everything again, and that's not a fun thing, trust me. If you have a solid state hard drive, this will take a couple minutes. If you don't and have another one, this might take 15 minutes, half an hour, depending on how big the files are, especially if you've got 2.0 with the new Nevada map. That's 20 gigabytes worth of files itself. This takes a while. So hit your generate snapshot of game files and let it run. Don't worry if it looks like the program's frozen, it does that. Just let it run, come back 15-20 minutes later, and it should be good to go. So I'm going to start that now, and I'll see you when it's finished. Okay, so the snapshot has been completed. Again, have a read of that if you want. So now we need to get a mod and test and see if it works. So for me, nice and simple, I'm going to go grab my NVG mod. It's an easy one to test. It takes the original NVG that looks like this giant green blob and changes it to something that looks like this, which is a bit more realistic. Again, the link will be up in the description below, so you just can click on the link, grab the file. Pretty much any mods that people release, they'll be in a RAR or zip or 7-zip file, and they'll either be on Google Drive or some other file sharing site. So there's mine, and again I'll stick it on the desktop. So here's my mod. So we'll just extract it. So extract it to here, and there it is there. So what we want to do is we want to go into that folder that we created earlier. That was, well, for me, it was _mods. So just want to go find that, and I've gone and open iTunes. So I'll close that once it loads. So into your game directory, open alpha, and then mods. Okay, so there's your snapshot file, and then mod go, here it is here, Frenchie's NVG. So all you want to do is drag it and drop it in here, and now you'll see it's automatically actually popped up in JSGME. With mods, a very common mistake is people double folder them, especially depending on how people zip their files. They'll right click and they'll extract to a folder, and that means you double click on that and then you get that exact same name again. That's wrong. The way the folder structure needs to work for the mods is you have whatever you want to name it, doesn't matter, you can name it whatever, but then when you click into it, it has to start matching the file structure of the game. So for this, the files will be in the bazaar folder. So if you go back to here, you'll see this is your file structure for the game, and so the normal folders that get affected by mods are like the bazaar, the bin, sounds, a couple of the other ones. So if you go to your mod, double click on it, and you're not seeing those folders, you've probably got it double folded and it's not going to work properly. Now to apply the mod, like I showed at the very start, just click on your mod, click on this arrow to the right, and then it gets applied. And if you want, go into DCS and make sure that it's working. That's pretty much it for this demo. Have any questions, post below. Like, share, favorite. Thank you very much.